Hey everyone. In this video I'm gonna be talking about all the I was well the fact I was a theater kid when I was little, and eventually I ended up developing stage fright. Uh, so when I was a little kid, I went to this special school with my sister, and they had a musical theater there. And so, um, when I was really, really little, I decided that I wanted to do some musical theater. So the first play I was in was called The Color Play, and I was the color white. Well, I guess white is a shade, and I am a shade, obviously. And then also I was a star full over, and that was my first play. Um, I had this, and I was actually happy to play the role of color whites because I had this cute little frilly, kind of like a little puffy pink white dress, and I got to wear that, and I was very happy about that. The next one I was in was Tortoise and the Hare. I was the fox, and that was about the time when Bob the Swan Lake came out, and they had a little character in it, and she was a fox girl, and I absolutely loved her dress. And so my dream dress was that little fox girl's dress from the Barbie movie. And my mom's friend was the one who ended up making a costume for me. And since I had that in mind, I thought that I would have something like that. I sure chose to have it as a top and a skirt instead. But I still had a lot of fun and enjoyed it. And that's like the thing, like when you're a kid, like no one has and like plays and stuff like that. No one has high expectations that you are gonna be good, first of all, and that you're gonna remember your lines. So there was, of course, no pressure, and you're a kid, and it's just fun. You're just having fun. You're being on stage. You're dressing up. You're having a good time. So yeah, back to overthink things then. And then the next one I was in was the Jungle Book. And me and that girl both wanted to get the part of the little girl who falls from the little village who falls in love with Mowgli. But of course, neither one of us got the part. And we're a little bit jealous of the girl who did get the part. But I ended up being a pretty cool animal. I was a wolf. Pretty awesome. But also, I was basically English. For the rest of it. But still, I wasn't able to have a good time. And then the next one I was in was Romeo and Harriet, which is a spoof on Romeo and Juliet. And the character I played was in the Capulet family, and was originally played by a guy, but I changed it to a girl. And the thing about that is, everyone had to wear like a t-shirt with like the family name. So I was a Capulet, so I had a t-shirt that said Capulet, and then the other ones had a shirt that said Montague. And so yeah, he's really excited to me. And so also one thing, I was a girly girl when I was younger. I absolutely hated wearing jeans and pants. I had to wear pants. Wasn't too feel about that. And the thing about like after we were done with the play, just like being able to like have like the sigh of like relief, because I was a bit older then, that I actually remembered all my lines. That was and where I was supposed to be. Said and all that kind of stuff. I remembered everything that I had to remember because I did practice it a lot at home, but still, I remembered it. It was absolutely great. But actually dates back when I was a little kid and like the color play, how old it was. So instead of having like a CD to take it home with the music, we had a little cassette tape. When I was like little tapes, and then you have like a little tape player. I had a little kitty one that was like colorful and stuff like that, and I actually had little cassette things, and you would like flip it over, and it would play like different songs on both sides. And so the great thing about that is once you are done with the cassette, you rewind it all the way to the beginning. You can't just like press play and it plays from the beginning. It had to rewind it. Same thing with videotapes. Have to rewind it. So that's getting back of how long ago that was, early 2000s. So yeah, but yeah. Another thing is I for the longest time I've always been pretty boy crazy. And I definitely was when I was a child. And so with like the play that I was in, Romeo and Harriet, there was a boy, not gonna say his name, but there was a boy, and I had an absolute crush on him. And we were both in the Capulet family. He played, I believe, like Juliet Harriet's cousin. And the funny thing about that play, since it was a spoof, the fight scene between his character and the character from the Montague family, that like death scene, basically that one. So they used fencing swords in it, but they put like hot dogs, like the hot dog weenies, on the fencing swords, and they had to like throw that at each other because they weren't actually going to use the fencing swords. And then this person went by, and I believe we said it was like lemon meringue pie or like banana cream pie, something, some kind of cream pie. But it was actually a pie, uh, tin with just whipped cream. And they threw each other's faces, and that's how they died. So at the ending part when we were all standing, he was standing next to me, and he had to, of course, get all the whipped cream off his face, but he still had some whipped cream on him, and he smelled like this. It was absolutely hilarious. There was like a embarrassing part for me, the backstage. Because it's dark backstage and you can't really see where you are. I felt like I bumped my back into someone, and then the person I looked behind me, and the person that was close to me was him. So when we went in the practice room, when we do warm-ups and stuff like that, I apologized to him for that, and he had no idea what I was talking about. So that was absolutely embarrassing. But yeah, that was a good time. I had a lot of fun in that play. The last play I was in, I did not have so much fun in it. So the last one I was in was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I was originally going to bail out being in it, but I wasn't very smart. And I thought, when I saw him, I thought that he would actually realize the fact that I decided not to be in the play. Of course, he wouldn't have known and had any idea that I was going to be in the play in the first place. But because I wasn't very smart about it, um, I decided to stay in the play because that's what I thought. And kind of regret it. Basically because, so back then, well, when I was younger, I had like no fashion sense. Example, so one of the characters that I played was like, like a child. And so it had to be like a background character basically. And what I wore was like this, like, because they, like, a teacher, and she had basically a full fashion sense. She wore socks and sandals always. That always bothered me. She um told us like, well, we're children and we're not like like well filled us like, and it's like it's winter, it's cold, we had to wear something warm. Well, I was yo-yo. I liked wearing dresses. I wore this green dress, and it was kind of like almost like lime green. And then to add to the ugly lime green dress that I was wearing that I loved when I was that age, but it was just figuring out was just awful. I found these leggings, these like nylons that went perfectly with the dress. So I bought them. But that wasn't like the worst thing that I wore. So I was also in a Oompa. Not the Johnny Depp, of course, Oompa Loompa. It was the original one with the I don't know, because I know his name, but I can't think of it. You guys probably know his name. Of like, the original version of the movie. Um, and so basically, I think she was gonna have us put these like really weird wigs, but one of the girls in the class had like her like pigtails, they went up like that. I absolutely did not like them. The the theater teacher thought it was a great idea to have basically everyone have their hair like that. Wasn't thrilled about that. We also wore kind of I think like kind of like striped shorts, like long sleeve shorts, and then we wore overalls, like short overalls, those kind. And then we had to wear like these like nylons. But it wasn't just the girls. The guys had to wear this too. And seeing him having to wear that and have like his like short hair, like little short longish hair with a little, it was absolutely hilarious. Amazing, none of the boys complained about having to wear nylons. Good for them. Um, but yeah, and the worst part was that I absolutely hated wearing the outfit. And Venus Play actually ruined the original one for me. Movie. I cannot stand that movie now. But was like the last song we did not have enough time to change back into our childwear, so we had to wear the Oompa Loompa clothes, and I was not really happy about that. As soon as it was over, I wanted to go backstage and put on my wiggle clothes. Before like anyone saw me off stage wearing that, but of course that did not happen. That was the last play that I was in. When I was little, I was gonna be in like this little kind of like song thing, and the song that we were gonna sing is Rubber Ducky. If you've seen Sesame Street, you probably know that song. So yeah, and we actually would have like little rubber duckies. Apparently, I was too embarrassed to go on stage, sing that song with a little yellow rubber ducky, so I decided to bail out and not do that, but I still showed up at the class party. But I don't count that because I didn't actually perform it. Okay, after that, I ended up eventually performing stage fright. So the idea of performing in front of people, singing in front of people who are not like family, was just a big no. I just could not do that. It's just absolutely fine. To me. But one thing that I have realized from being on Discord with my friends is sometimes I kind of break out in like little songs here and there, and sometimes they end up like joining me, which is pretty funny. But I guess because they actually can't see me doing it, and I'm just doing it for like the fun of it. I'm not doing it to be like serious. It definitely like helped me feel comfortable doing it. Maybe someday I will be comfortable enough singing in front of people. I am taking singing lessons. But I think it's like for me, if I were to sing like karaoke, I would have to have like a family member or like a friend go up before me before I had like the confidence to actually go up and do it myself. No, my family likes doing karaoke, so I'd have to find a friend or friends who like to do that. But yeah, I'm realizing that doing that on Discord has been like really nice and probably not be as scary as it would otherwise. And maybe sometime I would actually sing to them if they would want me to. Hit me. I know they won't judge me, which is nice. But yeah, that is basically the story of me being a theater kid and then just having stage fright and stuff like that. I was in my senior year of high school, I like the last of it, I was in drama club, but it was the last of it, so I wasn't that involved. And I did take theater class, so I got to learn the ins and outs of like the backstage part of theater, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, that is basically it. I did have a lot of fun when I was a kid doing that. Um, it was enjoyable. It I do have some fun and some not so fun memories of doing it. But it was really cool how they would just basically like anyone could be a part of it and they wouldn't find all for them. Unlike the one high school theater. Completely different. Completely different than kitty theater. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have read the comments that people have left. This one guy, apparently, he was like following me like on Instagram or something like that. Something was going on with Instagram. I ended up blocking him. He reached out to me through my YouTube channel, asking me if I would undo that. One thing, I don't know how to do that. And two, I think I would, if I did that in the first place, I had a very good reason to. And so I won't. And someone left a really nice comment on my video of, Tony talking about how, about like online relationships and stuff like that, and my past relationship with that. My only relationship. I've only had one boyfriend, and I don't really count much of a relationship because we only were together like during like school and summer school. That was a choice at the school I went to. And um because of that, um it was like really hard for me because I ended up also getting depression. And I will talk more about that in a different video maybe, if I feel comfortable enough. So it was just like a really low point for me being in that relationship, and my heart was just so broken, and it was just really hard. I just didn't ever want to go through that again, so I just kept my heart basically just like locked up inside for any possibility of being in a relationship. And hopefully someday I will be able to find someone that, I have a real like connection with. Hopefully. Um so yeah. And because someone did mention me like I should like get over it. And it's like, well, it's kinda like, well, even though it was, it's like still technically like my first relationship, and the first one is always like the hardest to get over, especially when it wasn't the best of relationships. Uh so yeah, but um yeah, I appreciate that one person's comment that was very supportive. I am not gonna do that with you. You can hate me, you can call me a bitch, you can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to do that. So if you can please stop messaging me on YouTube in my comments, that'd be lovely. And for that other person, yeah, I um, it's something that I'm working on. It's and I understand, like I am over him. It's the past. And I want to move on. It's just I haven't really had the opportunity to move on. So, um, well, I have, but I messed up, and hopefully, I'll be able to try again when I am able to get up. Because I wanna um meet a guy not through a dating app or website, but like actual like real human, like one-on-one kind of face to face. That kind of, I don't. I'm old school like that. I am definitely old school like that. But I feel like you can't really, because like with messaging, things get taken out of context. for support, and then um, I can't really like sometimes I can get like a good like vibe off of someone just by like messaging them. Like if I'm like actually like voice chatting with them, I can. But it's much more easier when I'm like in person with that and actually can get the vibes and the energy that they're putting out. And then if there's a connection there, then that is great. If there isn't, then there's no real reason to keep pursuing it, I feel. But yeah, that's how I want my story if I ever have children, ever get married to that person, have children. I don't want to be like a lot of people's story, how they just met online. Like thing s- s- sites and stuff like that. I don't want to be one of those people. I never liked doing what other people do. I like being my own individual person. I go against the grain as much as I possibly can. Well, that is just who I am. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If there's any people who watch this video who are also musical theater kids, awesome. If you made it to the end of this video to hear me rant some more, great. That's cool. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I hope you all are having a good spring. I hope that you spend some great quality time with your moms. If you have a mother or a mother figure in your life, definitely show them how much you love and appreciate them. Bye. Bye.